Yo guys, what is up? A very good afternoon from the Netherlands. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Very good morning or afternoon or evening from wherever you are. Hey Cindy, hope all is good in Asia. King Jong-un back as always. Kareem back in the building. Dan back in the building as always. Kasana as well, or Kasasa. Hope we're all doing well, guys. Some very interesting movements in the market this morning. Some very interesting movements. Hope you guys all watched this morning's market outlook, because it has been playing out pretty well this morning. Just gonna pop the link into the chat. Can you guys hear me well, by the way? Am I loud and clear? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. Yes, okay, great guys. Well, with that said, let's dive into the market, see what is going on this morning. So yeah, let's just dive straight in. To begin with, by the way, if you guys want me to do any pairs on request, just let me know. Is the mic volume a bit low? Let me see if I can move it a little bit closer. You should be able to hear me now a little bit more loud and clear. So yeah, interesting movements in the market this morning, guys. As we can see, Euro Dollar has been dropping beautifully in towards this second low of the overall descending channel, right? So at the moment we've seen a 1, 2, and essentially now a fake out on that low. So I am anticipating on a possible retracement back up on Euro Dollar. Let's have a quick look at the dollar index. So yeah guys, I'm not gonna lie, dollar index has been playing out very nicely so far. As we can see, and as we all know, this area of supply is pretty weak. Therefore, we were expecting essentially to move up higher in towards this area of supply. So let's see what happens now once we kind of reach the upper range of this overall area of supply. Quickly diving in towards the lower time frame, let's have a look at what the 15 has. So yeah, the 15 minute, if you just view this, you can clearly see, okay, we have a trend line over here, and that essentially means that this is your supply zone. Let me just change the color. Yeah, so that's your supply zone on the 15, and we are currently in it. So as we can currently see, we are reacting to 15-minute supply, which could cause a pullback, as that 15-minute supply zone is also stacked with 4-hour and daily supply. So possible retracement coming on the dollar. However, of course, I am expecting the dollar now to essentially break this area of supply if it doesn't just crash from here. If the 4-hour closes as strong as it currently is going to do, that means that we have 4-hour demand located over here. And yeah, then I'll just be looking for potential dollar longs once we retrace in towards that area of 4-hour demand. Yeah, essentially that. Because at the moment we can just see that there's no bearish intentions on the dollar. We're not faking out on that second high, or as it stands, rejecting that third trendline touch. So that is the dollar index update. So with that said, let's have a look at what pairs are on request for today. So first of all, I can see Suraj has a pound Kiwi. So let's start off by analyzing pound Kiwi. So pound Kiwi on the daily. Yeah, so pound Kiwi hasn't really changed that much. Still pretty much the same analysis as on Friday. What I'm essentially waiting for as of now is still for this swing high to get taken out over here at 202.715. For me personally, there's a lot of liquidity above that high, and above that high there's a beautiful area of supply. So I want that supply zone to get reached. Looking at the daily, quickly diving in towards the weekly as well, we can clearly see we're also in weekly supply, And essentially what we know of supply is the fact that if you look at this area of supply, and I mentioned it this morning, if you haven't checked out this morning's video, by the way, do so after this live stream. But essentially what you want to see is that, okay, well, the first time you come into supply, big reaction, right? However, the supply from, let's say, the beginning of that weekly zone has already been taken out. So there's not a lot of supply, in my opinion, at the beginning of this zone, or at least at these current price levels, to push price further down. So in my opinion, we still need to move up a little bit higher in towards the higher level of supply of this overall weekly and daily supply zone. So that is, yeah, pound Kiwi essentially. I know a lot of people who have been looking for shorts for quite a while on pound Kiwi, especially from this area of supply over here. However, you can see we saw a reaction, but because it wasn't a fresh zone anymore, we didn't really see a strong reaction. For the rest, just waiting now to grab liquidity above this swing high. That is the most logical movement for pound Kiwi at the moment. For me personally, it's too early to look for any shorts. So yeah, that is pound Kiwi. Eurogbp is next. By the way, guys, it's possible that I forget to look at some pairs, so just, yeah, remind me every now and then. Yeah, so Eurogbp, guys. Eurogbp has been moving beautifully back up in towards the upside since this area of demand on the daily. As we can see, very strong bullish intentions on the daily. Currently on the 4 hour, we have broken some structure. This high got taken out by this area of support and resistance. So for now, what are we expecting? Well, I am essentially expecting some higher prices. I'm currently focusing on this 4 hour sell zone over here. This is my main focus zone for now. Yeah, we have some beautiful liquidation right below it. So I want to take out this high over here, liquidate the stops above it, and then potentially look for a retracement. We could also react to this range over here, because this is a buy to sell range. Over here, buy to sell. And we still have some fresh supply at the top of this 4 hour supply. However, for me, the chance is just a little bit higher that we're going to move up just slightly higher, possibly in towards this zone. Of course, because if we look at the daily, and we don't have to forget the daily, in my opinion, is pretty ready for a higher push. Looking at the daily, I pretty much would love to see a higher retracement, at least in towards this daily area of supply. Yeah, that's pretty much it for your GBP. Looking good for some higher prices. However, these are areas of resistance. Quickly doing some 4 hour structure analysis. Let's say we copy this, then I would say, okay, well, this over here is a break of structure. Then over here, then over here, and then over here once again. Did we break this low? Yes, we did. Then after that, a retracement. Once again, a retracement over here for our structure wise, and then over here this high gets broken. By the way, it's this high. So this high gets broken, then we see the push up. So we're bullish since this high break over here, in my opinion. Now looking at the 4 hour, you could consider this as a potential pullback over here. So let's keep an eye on this area of 4 hour demand, which essentially broke the highs. Yeah, looking at a EURUSD pullback, this could potentially cause the next wave up. Let's see if we can take out this supply zone, because then this will be your takeout zone. Something like this is what I'm looking at on EURUSD before shorts from the higher areas of supply. So yeah, that's EURUSD. Dollar yen from Kim, the powerful Jung Un. Let's have a look at dollar yen. So yeah, let's have a look. Dollar yen, what can we see on the daily? So first of all, daily is inside demand. I think that's pretty clear for all of us. Then going in towards the 4 hour, what can we see over there? So we have this area of 4 hour demand, which we're currently still inside. Just quickly adjusting it. Let's see, yeah, to the lowest low. Yeah, so we're still inside 4 hour demand. And if we dive in towards the 1 hour, I don't know why we have this lower zone drawn in over here, by the way. We know that, okay, we're still in 4 hour demand. We've taken out 4 hour demand, by the way, with just this liquidity wick. But this could just be a liquidity grab below this low. Keep that in mind. Looking at currently the 4 hour, what needs to happen? We need to see a lower time frame trend switch. Once we start breaking some highs, let's say this high over here, because yeah, the 1 hour is just in a clear downtrend. So we need to start breaking highs. At the moment, we're just reacting to some supply over here. So let's see if we can break out first and then start seeing higher prices. Yeah, Rohan, you could call it smart money concepts, but it's essentially just supply and demand trading alongside market structure. Not necessarily smart money concepts. I just call it supply and demand, to be honest. But yeah, that's dollar yen. Let's have a look at our next pair on request. That is going to be pound Aussie. So let's have a look at pound Aussie. Pound Aussie, yeah, I don't really like pound Aussie, to be honest. I think I mentioned this on Friday as well. This is your swing high. So we took out that daily high. So daily is now bullish after breaking this high over here. So this is your daily high over there. This is your daily swing low. So if you just quickly think about what pound Aussie could do, it does look good for a pullback, of course, because after a break of structure, you always expect a pullback essentially. Just keep in mind that we have supply over here, which essentially took out this entire bullish trend over here. So I would look for potential shorts from here to kind of play that daily pullback after this daily break of structure. Pound Aussie is just a very messy pair. I would say focus on dollar pairs, to be honest. 4 hour is now bullish as well. So not really interested in any shorts at the moment. I was kind of focused on if we were going to see this area of demand on Friday. However, just no real follow through on the 4 hour. Mainly just consolidating inside this range for now. So yeah, that is pound Aussie. What is next? Let's have a look at GJ. Yeah, so yeah, GJ, this is pretty much what I explained on Friday, right? GJ is just super bearish due to fundamentals at the moment, because as we all know, we have some political situation in Ukraine going on at the moment. So what does this political situation in the world mean for currencies? So essentially what you'll always see in the markets is that when we have risky situations for the markets, so for instance, when we have some political wars going on, when we have military tensions going on in the world, which consider essentially the entire world, what you'll see nearly always is that yen becomes very strong, the Swiss becomes very strong, and the dollar becomes very strong, and gold. So those are kind of the four pairs that you always have to look at when there are kind of tensions in the world going on. And that is why at the moment you'll see that if you go to any yen pair, so let's say Aussie yen, pound yen, euro yen, dollar yen, all of them are pretty much just falling. So if you look at GJ is falling, euro yen has been falling massively, Aussie yen has been falling massively, Aussie Swiss has been falling massively, Euro Swiss has been falling massively, pound Swiss probably as well. Yeah, so as you guys can pretty easily see, all of these safe havens have been very, very strong. So we tend to focus on that when analyzing the market. So when we go back to pound yen, and we look at pound yen is currently back in this demand zone. But yeah, we just have to keep in mind that pound yen could start pulling back, but there's just no fundamental reasoning why it would pull back. Furthermore, this is just not a very strong demand zone, so I would personally focus on this demand zone. Just wait for price to fall down lower and then look for a potential pullback. For now, daily swing structure is still intact and is still bullish, but the 4 hour is just super bearish. So that is just, yeah, the main focus for me at the moment. We're bearish from this high and we're still waiting for a pullback. However, like I said, we don't really have any strong zones which could cause a pullback. Yeah, we could see a pullback from here, but if this zone breaks, then I'm definitely looking at, what is it, 151.723. That's going to be my next area of demand on the daily. So yeah, that is GJ. Yeah, so let's have a look at Euro Yen straight away as well then. So Euro Yen is just also super bearish at the moment. What we've seen on Euro Yen at the moment is now this demand zone being broken. So what broke this demand zone? That was this supply zone over here. So what I'm currently waiting for, and we're currently seeing a break of structure over here. So if we see close below this low, that means that we have a 4 hour break of structure and 4 hour continuation. This is your lower high, and yeah, we're now waiting for a new lower low to get formed essentially. So if we see a close below this low, I will be looking for Euro Yen shorts upon a pullback in towards my area of supply to trade alongside that yen strength. So yeah, that is Euro Yen. Let's have a look what other pairs have been requested. Okay guys, so yeah, we'll have another look at Euro Dollar and then also Dollar CAD. Yeah, so Euro Dollar guys, Euro Dollar is inside this area of daily demand. Okay, so we're inside some demand over here still, just keep that in mind. However, we have a very clear trend line over here with a lot of liquidity below it. In my opinion, we're ready to grab that liquidity. Why? Well, because the 50% mark on the daily has been hit. We also reacted to this area of daily supply. Above it, we saw a fake out on the highs, liquidity grab. Yeah, and the daily is bearish essentially alongside the weekly as well. However, if we look at the weekly, what can we see on the weekly? The weekly has been reacting to this area of weekly demand over here. Since then, we've been seeing some kind of a pullback. But the entire weekly, let's say, drop has been since this high. So this currently is my weekly swing high. And this is my weekly swing low. Yeah, okay, guys, don't worry, guys. Gold is going to be after Dollar CAD. So look, this is your weekly premium versus discount tool. So what we can see is that the pullback has just been so minor on Euro Dollar. So on the weekly, or from a weekly perspective, it would still be logical to move up higher, but from a fundamental perspective, it's not necessarily needed. So from a fundamental perspective, it is logical that Euro Dollar is going to head down because the euro is just very weak with this political situation going on in Ukraine. The euro is just in between all of it, and the euro is essentially pretty risky at the moment just due to all the different political interests that are going on in regards to Ukraine at the moment. So yeah, that's the weekly on Euro Dollar. The weekly could still push up higher in towards supply because at the moment Euro Dollar hasn't reacted to anything on the weekly. So just keep that in mind. However, looking at the daily, Euro Dollar looks ready to drop. Yeah, demand is, or supply, excuse me, on Euro Dollar is still in control. Let me just delete this. So supply is still in control on the 4 hour, as we can see. Supply, and now supply is being created inside these imbalances at the top. So if we start seeing a pullback on Euro Dollar, I'll be looking for further shorts from this area of supply, purely because I expect this swing low over here to get run. This low, I don't know which low it is because I've got so many black lines, but this low essentially, which is my swing low, I expect that to get run and for Euro Dollar to start making and creating a new lower low. So yeah, that is Euro Dollar. Now let's head over to Dollar CAD. And by the way, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the stream, We got 69 people watching and only 24 likes. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could just leave a like. It would mean the world to me. And don't forget to subscribe, of course. We hit the 7K subscribers. Just want to say a massive thanks to all of you. It really means the world. Yeah, on the road to 10K. But let's have a look at dollar CAD and then we'll go over to gold. So yeah, dollar CAD. And dollar CAD has been playing out pretty much as according to my analysis since last week. If you've been following me for a while. Yeah, looking at the daily, we're currently in some daily supply. This daily supply, however, isn't really that strong. What has it achieved? Okay, yeah, well, we saw pretty much just a break of structure, but it's not like it's a very, very strong area of supply in my opinion. However, it is supply, so just keep that in mind. This 4 hour, however, I really like this 4 hour area of supply because it's just super strong. It's caused a massive push down, as we can clearly see. At the moment, this is, this is a very interesting area of supply, stacked with some daily supply. However, what is interesting about dollar CAD is that we don't really have any liquidity in this leg down. And I explained this on, what was it, on Aussie Dollar, I think about 2 weeks ago, in one of the market outlooks, that you essentially always want to see some form of a liquidity or liquidation right below an area of supply or demand. Otherwise, this could be a fake move. So I am expecting some kind of reaction to it, but I'll only be looking to short on the second time that we pretty much come above, because I think a lot of people are now looking at shorts. Why? Well, it's a very clear area of support and resistance over here. So support and resistance traders are essentially going short now. Furthermore, it's a logical fib level, so fib traders are going short as well, right? It's 786 fib. Third of all, supply and demand traders are essentially also going short. However, we need to see liquidation, so we need to see people get liquidated. We don't really have any obvious highs or lows. We had this high over here, as we can clearly see. So this high, liquidity above it, because this high tried to take it out, this high tried to take it out, and then boom, we took it out. We saw kind of that bearish reaction, right? However, we need to see something similar to this now kind of start to form over here. Otherwise, we become the liquidation. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, let's see if we can see a reaction, then move back up, liquidation, and then a further drop. That's pretty much what I'm going to be keeping my eyes out on. However, dollar CAD is bullish fundamentally seen, so it is very risky to look for those shorts. But yeah, that is dollar CAD. Let's have a look at gold next. So gold, and what has gold been doing at the moment? So gold is bullish on the daily. We have this very, very obvious bearish trend line, right? So lots and lots of liquidity being built up above it. So a lot of people have been going short from over here and essentially are going short again over here. Why? Because people just love going short on trend lines. So keep that in mind when looking at this chart. So then, knowing that structure is bullish, we have a lot of liquidity above the trend line. In my opinion, we're going to get ready to start pushing through the trend line and start grabbing liquidity above, let's say, 1877. However, in the meantime, we have to look for a good position or for a good price to start looking at those longs, right? Because I'm personally not going to start buying over here. Why? Well, because if we look at the daily swing structure, just put in this premium versus discount tool, we're inside the premium, and essentially you only want to be going long from the discount. So we want to be going long from this gray zone, and we want to be going short in the premium, in the blue zone. So looking at this market, this was the ideal area to go for longs. Why? Well, we had a clear 4 hour demand over here. As we can see, we came into demand, and from there we started rising out of it, right? At the moment, we've already made the move up, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to start buying gold over here if I look at the daily. Then going in towards the 4 hour, you can also see on the 4 hour, we had a 4 hour bullish, what's it called? Break of structure. So we had that bullish break of structure over here on this 4-hour high at around 1831.80. Since then, we've seen some form of a pullback over here. However, this for me is just more consolidation. I think that the big institutional players who trade gold are just waiting to kind of see what the political situation in Ukraine is going to be doing. But just keep in mind, we could still see a further pullback. If we do, I will be looking for longs from, let's say, this area of demand or this even stronger area of demand over here. That's if we see a pullback. If we don't see a pullback, I'm not going to get involved with gold just because we're trading at very high value on gold. This over here is your swing high. This is your swing low. So yeah, I'm not going to be longing when you're literally at the top, right? So we want to wait for at least a pullback down lower. Then just quickly, once again, drawing in that premium versus discount tool. And us knowing what the daily is like. You can see like this zone over here is at the 50% mark, right? This lower zone. So this is an ideal area to go long from, this demand zone. So yeah, that's gold. Let's have a look at... Okay, let's do the other dollar pairs. So pound dollar, Kiwi dollar, and Aussie dollar is next. Yas Sharma, I buyed Euro dollar at 1.135580 now. So I'm not a financial advisor at all. Yeah, man, to be honest, I would just recommend start trading with a stop loss, man. It's just these kind of mistakes aren't really needed. I can't really advise you how to get out of that position at the moment. I would just wait for a pullback essentially and try to get out once you reach an area of supply on the 4-hour. But let's have a look at pound dollar, then Kiwi dollar, then Aussie dollar. So pound dollar is now in demand, waiting for a pullback on pound dollar to get involved. Just remember, pound dollar is bearish fundamentally, and of course the daily is bearish, as I've been saying for a very long time now. So yeah, just pretty much waiting for those lower prices on pound dollar. I expect this low to get run. This was a strong high. High gets respected. Supply pushes price down. Now essentially we expect this low to get taken out at a certain point in the near future, right? So just waiting for that, to be honest. Just waiting for these lower prices and for pound dollar to start breaking the lows. So yeah, that is what is it called? Pound dollar. Will GBPUSD pull back? I don't know if GBPUSD is going to pull back. What I do know is that we are in some nice areas of demand, I would say. This is a nice area of demand to look for a pullback on pound dollar. Keep in mind that this is also a very nice area of 4-hour demand over here with clear liquidation on this low if we reach it. So let's see if we can kind of fake out that low, see a pullback, because in my opinion pound dollar is bearish, but pound dollar is kind of ready to start making a pullback in the near future. So let's say some area of supply. It can't just start dropping forever, right? So let's see if in the near future we are going to get that pullback. So Kiwi dollar next. So Kiwi dollar, yeah, Kiwi dollar, not gonna lie, I did pretty much talk about this bearish momentum on Kiwi dollar for quite some while now. What we're currently seeing is this 4-hour low causing a break of structure. At the moment, we just need to wait for a pullback. These are kind of the moments in the market that you just have to wait. I don't know where the market is going to move or start pulling back from. We have all this price action to our left. I'm not very interested in looking at the daily and looking where the pullback is going to occur from. All I know is that if I look at the daily and we look at daily demand, I know there's a lot of buy side liquidity inside this wick. Quickly dropping in towards the 4-hour then. Let's have a look. This is pretty much your sell before the buy. So somewhere in here I expect Kiwi dollar to start pulling back. Because yeah, essentially as well, like after a 4-hour break of structure, what do you expect? You expect a pullback, right? But yeah, just remember, like, the fundamentals are behind Kiwi dollar dropping. The Kiwi is a risky currency. It's not like it's the dollar or the Swiss or the yen. So in times of political uncertainty, you'll see Kiwi get weak, Aussie get weak, CAD get weak, Euro get weak, and that's essentially just what we're seeing at the moment, and why everything has been dropping. So yeah, like once again, 4-hour break of structure over here on this low. This is now your swing high, and somewhere over here is going to be your swing low. Then we're going to start pulling back, and then we're going to start looking for areas of supply in the market, from where we're going to look for, yeah, essentially continuation. I am a trader who tends to always trade with the trend, so like I'm not going to start selling over here. Why? Well, we just saw a 4-hour break of structure, and after a break of structure we expect a pullback, right? So if we just use the premium versus discount rule and we just trade very logically, we want to be shorting Kiwi dollar. Why? Well, because the daily is bearish and the 4-hour is bearish. However, are you going to short after a 4-hour break of structure over here, right, after this entire leg down? No. So we're going to be waiting for a pullback. So that is trading, waiting. So we have to wait for Kiwi dollar to make a pullback, and then we'll be able to get in. You can of course look for, let's say, a lower time frame trend switch and kind of try to play that pullback, but that's not the trader who I am. I like to trade alongside the 4-hour trend, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be waiting for Kiwi dollar to pull back and then get involved. So that is that for Kiwi dollar. Now let's have a look at our next pair, which is, let's see, Aussie dollar, right? So let's have a look at Aussie dollar next. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, so Aussie dollar, guys. Aussie dollar is now bearish. Pretty much what we had been anticipating last week, right? After that daily 50% mark got hit. And we hit in this supply zone, right? That's why we're currently dropping. Currently inside this area of daily demand. After this zone of daily demand, we also have this daily buy zone, this last massive sell candle before the buy. Just gonna change the color real quick. So this is kind of the daily area of demand, from where I'm more interested in looking for a pullback. But just remember, these areas of demand are most likely going to be reaction points instead of actual reversal points, because we had this ascending price action, broke out of it. Now you want to see a reaction from that area of demand to then play the continuation with, let's say, this area of supply, right? That now took out this kind of uptrend channel. So what I'm waiting for on Aussie dollar at the moment is for us to start pulling back. I'll just wait for that pullback to occur, wait for a pullback in towards this area of daily supply, and then once price pulls back in towards daily supply, we go in towards the 4-hour, right? Because the 4-hour is now bearish, so we're trading in line with the daily, in line with the 4-hour. Now we wait for the 4-hour to start pulling back in towards, let's say, this area of supply over here, or even this area of supply over here. And this is of course a very nice area of supply over there. So yeah, that's pretty much just it. So it's a waiting game for me this week, probably until like Wednesday or Thursday, before I can really get involved, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that is Aussie dollar. I hope those or that analysis answered all your questions. If you still have a question, just let me know in the chat. In the meantime, let's have a look at what other pairs. I saw NASDAQ coming by, or US 30. US 30. Let's have a look at US 30. Yeah, so US 30 has of course been falling. At the moment, it's not looking very, very great in my opinion. I mean, we're still inside, let's say, this area of weekly demand, but it does look like we're going to start breaking it. For now, yeah, the market just needs to retrace out of this, but I never really have back tested indexes, whatever, so I don't really know how NASDAQ or US 30 really moves in regards to supply demand. I don't even know which one I'm supposed to take, to be honest. But yeah, this is pretty much demand over here, so let's see. But yeah, the markets are just very unpredictable at the moment, especially like stocks and stuff and indexes. Okay guys, what other pairs do you want me to analyze? Drop your pair now, which pair I haven't done yet, because I've done a lot of pairs now. Drop a pair that I haven't analyzed yet, and I'll start analyzing it for you. Okay, NZDCAD. NZDCAD. So NZDCAD, what has that been doing? I don't even have anything on it. So NZDCAD on the weekly real quick. Very messy pair. No real areas of supply and demand. Yeah, no real areas of supply demand, to be honest. Just looking at it from a daily perspective, I would say like high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So now just wait for a pullback in towards, let's say, the premium. By the way, for somebody asking how to draw the premium versus discount tool, it's just a fib and then with these settings over here. So 0, 0.5 and a 1. But yeah, I would say just wait for a pullback and wait for, what is it? I want a zone for, let's say, this area of supply to get hit or this area of supply to get hit, because these are high probability areas of supply. Both have liquidation below them, so this is liquidation or this is liquidation for the supply zone above it, and then look for those shorts from those areas in the market. That's pretty much what I would do. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. Having a look real quick over here, we have some demand over here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we're coming into some demand on KiwiCAD, so it could see a pullback. But yeah, I would just wait for those levels that I just drew out for you. What is next, guys? Let's have a look. So we did dollar KiwiCAD. Let's have a look at Eurocad. Yeah, so Eurocad. Eurocad is just such an ugly pair. I don't understand why you would want to trade Eurocad. Yeah, so Eurocad. Just looking at it from supply and demand, we have demand over here. That's why we've been spiking out. We had nice liquidation over here on this low, so it does look ready for some kind of a pullback on the weekly. Diving in towards the daily. Daily is bearish though. So hideous, so hideous. I would say, look, over here you had a break of structure. This is now your daily high. This is now your daily low. And this is your interesting area of supply with liquidation right above it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We also have some demand over here on the daily inside that weekly zone. So I would just wait for a pullback on Eurocad. I'm not looking for any longs whatsoever, just because of the overall bearishness. I would say the weekly is also bearish. Yeah, just an ugly pair in my opinion. So let's have a look. Pound Swiss. We haven't done any Pound Swiss today, have we? So Pound Swiss. Yeah, so Pound Swiss ready for some lower prices still. In my opinion, Pound Swiss is soon going to hit this area of demand. waiting for this area of demand to get hit. Pound Swiss is fundamentally bearish, so just keep that in mind when looking at Pound Swiss. I would just focus this week on going long on Swiss pairs and yen pairs, so short on Pound Swiss. So what you could wait to do is go to the 4 hour on Pound Swiss, and hideous 4 hour, but pretty much just wait for, let's say, a bearish trend switch and then look for shorts from, let's say, this supply zone. That's what I would do for now. Euro Aussie. Yeah, so I know some people were looking for shorts on Euro Aussie. I thought it was looking pretty good as well. However, yeah, no real entry possibility for me. Also, I was looking at the lower time frame. So quick lesson from me to you guys. If you want to be or have some more certainty at time, and you look at this 4 hour area of supply, a lot of people just go short over here once they start seeing some reaction, as we had last night and this morning. However, if you dive in towards a lower time frame and you look at the market, you can just easily see that the 15 never really changed into bearish character. So we had, let's say, the lows, then we had the high, we had the low, we had the high, we had the low, we had the high, we had the low, and now we have a new higher high. So until this low gets broken, like the 15 minute is still just in a bullish trend. So yeah, there's no real possibility to short yet. Daily is moving from weekly demand over here. But yeah, this weekly demand, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's going to get broken soon. Looking at the daily real quick, I think that this is going to happen. We're going to take out this high over here at 1.59080. Then we're going to be moving in towards this daily sell zone over here. And from there, we're going to see a possible drop. Grab liquidity above this high. This high, try to take out this high. So there's a lot of liquidity above the highs. Take that out and then possibly drop once we tap in towards this sell before the buy candle. That's Euro Aussie for you. USD SEK. Let's have I don't even know what SEK is. What's SEK? Swedish krona. Let's have a look at the Swedish krona. Yeah, so this is essentially what's happening, guys. These smaller currencies, these exotics, so-called, they're getting smashed by the dollar because of this fundamental situation. So I wouldn't be interested in going short on USD SEK, as I am bullish on this pair. We're coming in towards some supply though. I know that we have some weekly demand now over here. So what I would say is wait for the daily to pull back in towards one of these bearish candles. So let's say, yeah, just into this one, or in towards this one, or this one, and then look for longs. Easy as that. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, of course, mate. Thanks for joining in. Silver, we can have a look at silver. What is happening to silver at the moment? So silver is making a correction inside these imbalance candles. So this is your supply, which essentially took out this trend. So we're dropping from daily supply, weekly, yeah, so weekly from, we're dropping on the weekly from this buy for the sell. So very nice area where we're dropping from currently. Daily imbalance going in towards the 4 hour. We also had 4 hour supply over here, the buy before the sell. So yeah, what is next for silver? I would say if we look at this daily, we're gonna at least drop in towards these two wicks over here. And then once we're in there, look at the 4 hour. So yeah, inside there, focus on this, and then wait for potential pullback. Not a big fan of it though. I would prefer more this area over here. Yeah. And then look for some longs from here. But I don't really trade silver, to be honest. But I would focus on this area over here for potential longs, as this area took out this area of supply and also this structure. But yeah, silver overall just an ugly pair, to be honest. GBP CAD. Let's have a look at pound CAD at the moment. So pound CAD, going in towards the 4 hour. This is again one of those pairs that's just so ugly. I've never really liked pound CAD. I would say that pound CAD is still bullish. I would wait for lower prices. I would wait for, let's say, this zone all the way at the bottom to get hit of demand, which essentially took out this high over here. In the meantime, you could look for potential shorts from, let's say, this supply zone over here. But yeah, overall just an ugly pair, to be honest. Bro, US 30, I discussed US 30 and NASDAQ, man. Already discussed that. No, don't buy, just don't randomly start buying the NASDAQ or US 30. Stay out of the US 30 and NASDAQ for now, as it's just too risky to trade indexes. It's gambling. We're traders, not gamblers. Otherwise, we could change this live stream into Russian roulette live or roulette live, or I can play some blackjack live if you guys want. But we're not gonna just randomly start buying US 30 and NASDAQ. So yeah, guys, that is that for now. If you have any last pair that you want me to discuss, drop it into the chat now and we can have a look at it, and otherwise we're just going to call it a day again. Okay, pound dollar, last but not least. Pound dollar is bearish on the daily. Okay, so bearish on the daily. We've been moving from supply. This demand zone, which we're currently in, took out this area of supply. However, this demand zone isn't fresh. Why? Well, because we already saw a wick into it. So it's not that strong anymore. Quickly diving in towards the 4 hour, we're extremely bearish. However, we are kind of getting ready for a pullback, in my opinion. I'm keeping an eye on this zone over here where we're currently inside. Otherwise, this lower zone over here on where we saw liquidation right above. If we take out this low, liquidation into demand. So either a pullback from here or from here is kind of what I'm waiting for. But I'm not going to be just buying randomly like an idiot. I'm going to be waiting for the pullback, and then I'll be shorting from, let's say, this supply zone or this supply zone over here. That's pound dollar. US 30. I'll just do US 30 real quick then. Just look. Okay, look. So we just took out daily demand. So now there's no fresh demand zone, so it could just start dropping even lower. Like, this is the next area of fresh demand, in my opinion. We're breaking this trend line, so everybody's been buying on this trend line over here like an idiot, but there's liquidity below this trend line, so all liquidity is now being grabbed, so we could still drop much lower on US 30. Aussie Kiwi. No, I have an entry strategy on how to enter the market, which I use candle closes for. So yeah, Aussie Kiwi is, yeah, I share this inside the VIP community. Daily supply, 4 hour has now been pushing down lower, pretty much just waiting for a pullback to then enter shorts. Expecting lower prices from Aussie Kiwi. It's a very nice bearish daily trend. We're coming from premium, coming from beautiful supply, beautiful pair to see a further drop on. Eshan, we already discussed silver. It's not looking fantastic. Waiting for it to drop a little bit lower before looking for longs. Euro Kiwi. So yeah, Euro Kiwi is now taking out the swing high over here. Yeah, Euro Kiwi. Euro Kiwi needs to remain this high to stay bearish. But Euro Kiwi is one of those rangy pairs. But yeah, if we see close above this high, daily becomes bullish. Then I'll be looking for shorts from the top over here to then play the daily pullback. To then look for, let's say, longs from whatever demand zone looks good at that time. But guys, I like focus more on the dollar pairs. Kasasa, can you give us an example of your entries? You can watch the video that I uploaded on Saturday. If you watch that video and leave a like, you'll understand perfectly how to enter the market. So yeah guys, that is that for today. Thank you so much for joining the live stream as per usual. If you have any other questions, ask them in the free Discord server. Link is in the description down below if you're not in yet. Yeah, that is pretty much it for today. I wouldn't long pound dollar. I would wait for pound dollar to move up higher and then short once we come in towards an area of supply to trade alongside the higher time frame trend. Even that's what I would do. Just sit on your hands for now. Watch people get wrecked by the markets, because now, or trading at the moment, that is the moment when you're going to get wrecked, because the market is just it's been moving massively, and now it's just not the time to enter. We have times to enter and we have time to sit on our hands. At the moment, in my opinion, is the time to sit on your hands. The time to enter on pound dollar was when we were inside supply over here, as I mentioned in my market outlooks. So yeah, thanks for joining, guys. It means the world to me that you guys joined. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. And yeah, thanks once again for joining, and I wish you all a fantastic week and day. Thanks, guys. Catch you guys all on Friday. Yep, catch you on Friday. Thanks.